The hall glittered with golden chandeliers, polished marble floors reflecting every flicker of light. Waiters carried silver trays, the clinking of champagne glasses echoed, and 100 polished smiles filled the air with chatter. Yet in the midst of all that grandeur, Ethan Cole, the man who owned the very building where the gala was taking place, stood with a weight pressing on his chest. A billionaire CEO, a man who conquered boardrooms and dominated markets, but that night, in his perfectly tailored suit, he felt empty. Because the truth was, for all the power and wealth, Ethan had no one to stand beside him. No partner, no real family, only his little daughter, Lily, who was too young to play the role of companion, in a world where appearances mattered more than truth. So in a moment of weakness, desperation, and loneliness, he had done something unthinkable. He had hired someone, a stranger, to pretend to be his girlfriend, just to silence the whispers of his rivals and satisfy the curious eyes of high society. But Ethan never expected what would come next. He never expected that the woman he ordered for one night would walk into his life with eyes full of quiet pain, a smile that tried to hide 1,000 broken pieces, and a heart so genuine that even his daughter, innocent, pure, and wise beyond her years, would look at her and whisper the words that shook Ethan's world to its core: "Daddy, can she stay forever?" Right finger, before we dive deeper into this emotional and heart-touching journey, if you believe in kindness, second chances, and love that heals the deepest scars, please take a moment to like this video, share it with friends, and subscribe to Royal Stories. Your support means the world and helps us keep bringing you stories that touch the heart. Her name was Aria. She walked into that party dressed in a simple gown borrowed from a boutique, trying her best to look like she belonged among the jewels, silk, and diamonds. She had agreed to this arrangement out of desperation, bills piled up, her rent overdue, and her job search going nowhere. One evening, a stranger's call offered her money she couldn't refuse, to stand by a wealthy man at a high-profile party, smile at the cameras, and pretend to be his girlfriend. For Aria, it was supposed to be a one-night act, a mask to wear before fading back into her struggles. But the moment Ethan looked at her, something shifted. She didn't dazzle like the glamorous women he was used to. She didn't have the arrogance of wealth or the practiced charm of someone chasing status. Instead, there was a nervousness in her, a fragility, and yet, beneath it all, a quiet dignity. She wasn't pretending to be flawless, she was just trying to survive. And somehow, that honesty pierced through the walls Ethan had built around his heart. Throughout the evening, Aria played her role well. She laughed when she was supposed to, stayed by Ethan's side, and endured the sharp glances from women who thought they deserved to be where she stood. But what neither of them expected was Lily, the little girl who ran into Aria's arms as if she had been waiting for her all along. Ethan's daughter was shy with strangers, guarded in a way that broke Ethan's heart, but with Aria, she opened like sunlight breaking through clouds. Aria knelt down, her dress pooling around her, and spoke to Lily with such warmth that it was as if she had known her forever. For Ethan, watching them together was like watching a miracle unfold. As days turned into weeks, the arrangement should have ended. The party was long over, and Ethan had no reason to see Aria again. But Lily begged otherwise. Every morning she asked, "When is Aria coming back?" She drew pictures of the three of them together, her little stick figures, smiling under a bright sun, and when Ethan tucked her into bed, she whispered that Aria made her heart feel less lonely. For a man who had spent years burying himself in work after his wife left, those innocent words felt like daggers and healing balms all at once. Still, Ethan struggled. Could he allow this? Could he blur the lines between a contract and something real? He feared being fooled, being hurt again. Aria, too, battled her own demons. She carried scars from a past of betrayal and poverty, a past that made her believe she was never enough for a man like Ethan. Yet no matter how hard they tried to resist, the bond grew stronger. A father who longed for a partner, a little girl who yearned for a mother's touch, and a woman who had spent too long unloved, they found themselves orbiting each other like lost stars finally colliding. But life is never so simple. The whispers began. She's not who she says she is. She's just after his money. Doesn't Ethan know better than to fall for a girl off the streets? Business partners doubted his judgment, tabloids painted her as a gold digger, and even Ethan's own fear began to poison his trust. Aria, wounded by the cruel words, considered walking away. She told herself that Lily deserved better, that Ethan would realize she was nothing but a mistake. The night she packed her small suitcase, tears slipping silently down her cheeks, Lily found her and clutched her hand with all the strength her tiny fingers could muster. "Please don't leave," Lily cried. "Daddy doesn't smile without you. And I don't feel safe without you. Can you stay forever?" Those words shattered the last of Aria's defenses. She knelt, hugged the little girl tightly, and in that embrace, she found something she had been searching for all her life, a place where she belonged. Ethan, standing silently in the doorway, saw it all. He saw the truth not in grand gestures or glamorous appearances, but in the simple, raw love between his daughter and the woman who had walked into their lives by accident. For the first time in years, he let himself hope. So he fought. He stood against the whispers, defied the judgment, and chose not what was expected of him, but what was right for his heart and his child. In Aria, he didn't just find a companion, he found a woman strong enough to face his world yet gentle enough to heal his soul. And in Ethan and Lily, Aria found the family she thought she'd never deserve. It wasn't a fairy tale, it was messy, complicated, and filled with battles against doubt and fear. But in the end, it was real. And sometimes, real love is the bravest story of all. Right finger if this story touched your heart and reminded you that love can heal even the deepest wounds. Please support us by liking this video, sharing it with someone who needs hope, and subscribing to Royal Stories. Your engagement helps us continue creating stories that inspire and move souls. Speech balloon special request. Before you leave, write in the comments, "Love deserves second chances." We'd love to read your thoughts and feelings.